Hello everybody, and welcome back to Slow Your Roll. Today we're doing another DC20 combat gauntlet, which if you're new to that, basically there's a big fighting pit and one of us throws a bunch of monsters at the other one, who's running a single character in this case, until said characters run directly into the ground. And we basically just see how far you can make it. The waves, there'll be 5 waves. The first wave is very easy, and the last wave will be just shy of impossible, really. And so it will be more or less a miracle if the player character makes it through the whole thing. But anyway, speaking of the player character driven into the ground, who will that be today, Alex?
Well, my name is Miracle. I'm kidding. I didn't exactly pick a character name per se, so I'm actually just going to go with Phil.
Nice.
I happen to make a Angelborn and Fiendborn character, but they're a sorcerer, and I doubled down on the magic, right? The picture that I had in my head for this person was a really celestial side on one side and a really fiendish side on the other. So maybe some black or red skin, and then very, very white skin, blue eye, red eye, just black and white hair parted down the sides, just straight up the picture of what you think a angel and fiendborn would be if you smashed them together.
Cool. That's good. Good thing. Okay. Well, are we ready to get started?
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Let me transition the map and all that jazz.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're making your way in to said fighting pit, and we did adjust one thing I forgot to mention. If you saw the first video, you already know about this, but because it is a single character going through these waves, just to make it a little bit more interesting, give the character a little bit more survivability, we did increase their maximum HP by 5. And every wave that they complete, that will actually increase by 1 more. And every wave, there is a reset of all the resources for the player character. So, getting into this thing.
Level 1.
Yes, and level 1. Yes, good point. So basically, you walk through the doors of the fighting pit, and the doors slam behind you. You know how this thing goes. Second you take a step into the arena, an opponent will match it on the other side. So again, you do have control of your token, right? All that's working right? All right, cool. So basically, you first walk in. Interestingly, instead of an opponent walking down the steps to meet your gaze at the opposite side, you notice that they're right at the base of the steps. There are a group of just things that raise from the ground a bit. You see the ground literally pop up like molehills, kind of. And then you see a group of 5, what we will call mudlings, kind of up here. And I need to, I'll switch their layer first off. Arrange them a bit here. They're all going to be kind of just cramped in.
How big are they?
They are kind of goblin sized. In fact, they almost resemble goblins a little bit. But they're just made completely of just wet mud and earth. Once they fully apparate to their form, they've got just big nasty heads and gangly mud formed teeth. And you notice that they're just dripping, they're literally just drippy, They look like Muck or Grimer, the Pokemon kind of thing a little bit, but more buff physique.
Yeah, they look a little ripped, like they all went to the gym.
yeah, but they are tiny. They are relatively small creatures. Technically normal sized, but they're on the smallest spectrum of normal size, really.
Okay.
So basically, you see them, they're kind of gathering up some of their own mud. You see their palms are filling with mud, and it looks like they're about to just start throwing stuff in your direction or wherever else. So what do you do with that to prompt what happens next?
Okay, so I would definitely want to I would make a, spell check, but the spell check would be to perform my Shield of Faith. Just straight up start with the shield. Make it hard as I can to get hit.
Okay, yeah, so basically you're seeing that they're balling up mud, and they you see a few of them just start hurling mud through the air. So go ahead and make your spell check for the initiative check.
Absolutely.
And since it's a defensive thing technically anyway, whatever the check is what we'll use for the actual spell check too.
Okay. I would like to, when we get to the spell check, I would like to roll with an advantage or so to amplify.
Oh, I see. Okay. And I kind of forgot, even if it goes poorly, you might change your mind on what happens next, actually. So this one will just be initiative, actually. Good call.
Okay, totally.
Ooh, but it is really good. Okay. All right. So you definitely beat the DC encounter of 10. So that is very good. Wave 1 again should be relatively easy. So that's how it should go. DC encounter only being 10, you crushed it. Would you like to follow through using a second action point for advantage, or do you want to just stick with that now?
Well, honestly, if you're gonna be nice enough, I'll go with this one.
Okay. Sounds good. So we'll put you up first. You see them hurling mud through the air, or at least beginning to. So that can be your check for Shield of Faith.
Okay. And I have a +4 for my spell check, so that'll make it a 23. And
Nice.
what I was actually trying to do was get over 20, because for Shield of Faith, I only need 10, and every 5 you get an extra physical defense. So I
there you
technically
go.
just increased my physical defense by 4,
Oh, that's huge. That's awesome.
and it's concentration of 10 minutes.
Okay, so that's going to last some time. All right, sweet.
Physical defense right here. So my physical defense is 15 right now.
That's very good. That's awesome.
And that was actually only 1 AP and 1 MP.
Oh yeah, buddy. What happens next? What are you following that up with?
Okay, so this is what I want to do. Afterwards, I need to see if I can be close enough to these guys. So I'm going to check my range. Okay, they are basically 12 spaces away from me. Just checking. So I have 3 AP left. I'm going to take... Okay, I figured it out.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Magic Missile, and I'm just in range of the very first guys right in front.
Okay.
And how Magic Missile works is I create 2 missiles, but how Magic Missile works is I take a DC 10 spell check, creating 2 missiles if I get it, 1 missile if I fail. But every 5, I get an extra missile. So since I have 3 AP, I'm also going to empower it to hopefully give myself advantage.
Ooh, there you go. There you go.
But another kind of cool thing, once per long rest, I can cast this spell without using MP.
Ooh.
And I was wondering if that will replenish every combat round or just...
Yeah, for the Gauntlet, anything that's once per combat, heck yeah, is going to replenish.
It says once per long rest. Does that matter?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Ooh, good question.
If it says once per long rest, I'll save it until the later rounds. Or like if we stick with that one. But if it refills every combat, then I'll use it now.
That's a good question. This is something we'll have to decide. Like, this is how it'll be moving forward, probably. I want it to replenish simply for the fact that, to be honest with you, like I told you before, I didn't mention this on camera yet, but I'll be surprised if you make it past wave 4.
Okay. All right.
So like I'm all about giving you everything you could have to try to make it happen. So I would say whatever magical powers the fighting pit has that rejuvenates your resources to start with is enough to give you the rest of a long rest also. Like it actually magically rejuvenates you. So yeah, I would say yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and use that without having to expend a magic point, but let's make a DC 10 spell check and see with advantage. That's a DC 100.
It's like, wow, that's so good.
Right.
That one is good too, though.
Yes. 23 again. Okay, so I create 4 missiles.
Nice. That's awesome.
And there's going to be 3 missiles on the first guy, 1 missile on the second. I'm just taking a guess at how much like health they might have.
Okay. That sounds good.
Each missile deals 1 true damage to its targets.
Okay, so this is unavoidable damage. This is just like mana apparated into pure reality bending penetration.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so which ones do you want to hit again?
So the ones I'd like to hit this one.
Okay.
And I'd like to hit this one.
Okay, so the front liners essentially.
They're the ones that I can reach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So basically, you do what it takes to form up these awesome mana missiles, and just like they just barrage through the air, and the 3 instantly just like destroy the one, I'll say at the top. So we'll get him out of here. He is absolutely obliterated by the 3 missiles, and then the other frontliner, hit even by only 1 missile, is actually killed as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so it seems these bad boys generally only have 1 HP to them. So you take out the 2 frontliners with your first attack, Now what?
Well, that was all of my resources, so it should,
Okay.
I think, be back to them.
Okay. They will all go just to match turn by turn, basically. So the 3 of them that are left, you see, are going to basically, so I'll go with the one top right. Actually, here, I'm going to give these guys a bit of a label, so this is easier to track. I want to be red. There. Okay, you see their dots?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, cool. So now they're a little bit easier to communicate with. So basically, red is going to, you see him kind of like reaches up, he balls up some mud and just like hucks it towards you. How far are you? Okay, he can reach you, thankfully.
10 or 11 spaces away.
Okay, so he's just gonna ball up some mud and he just like hucks it through the air to hit you, and he's actually empowering it twice for double advantage, just to try to hit you. So that's 3 d20s altogether.
Oh boy.
One with a natural 20. Okay, these are just straight rolls though, so the natural 20 matters.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so basically he balls this mud up, throws it on you, and when it hits you, you do take 1 bludgeoning damage. I don't know how far 20 is above your normal stuff, but basically it's the 1 damage for bludgeoning and 2 for crit, and then whatever else if it's heavy or brutal or whatever.
So my physical defense currently is 15.
Okay, so hit it once, so it'd be just a heavy, technically.
Okay, so 3 damage from that?
1 from the normal, 1 for heavy, and 2 for the crit. So looking at 4 bludgeoning damage, surprisingly.
My God. All right.
And because this ball hit you, I actually have to make you make a physical save as well. As this mud kind of like coats your body, and we'll see if it hinders you.
Physical save?
DC is relatively low, so we'll see.
Definitely. Physical save. Would you say martial check, or is that athletics, acrobatics?
So it should be either a might or agility save, whichever one you would choose, basically.
Okay, perfect. I'm going with agility.
Oh boy.
A natural 1.
Perfect. Okay, so basically all it really means is that the mud covers you and you are hindered, so that the next thing that you do will have disadvantage, basically.
Okay.
I don't know. What would hindered look like? That, sure.
I was going to say, can you find an album cover?
You now have the lips of an angel. I'm sorry. Full lips, not just half lips and half fiend. So, okay. So basically you're hindered with your next attack. And then you see that's it for red. So blue is going to do something similar, but a little different. He intentionally targets the ground in front of you. He balls up a bunch of mud, throws it on the ground in front of you. And basically he's going to make a spell check to see how much ground he's able to cover with this mud attack that he's doing. And he does pretty well. So he's actually going to cover 3 spaces of area around you. I'm going to draw a little something here. We'll just do a free hand. And basically he's going to cover this spot, and this spot, and this spot with difficult terrain mud.
Okay.
And he's going to use his other 2 AP to give his friend help die. And so this is going to be kind of crazy. Green is going to do basically the same thing, where he's just trying to coat the ground in difficult terrain stuff. So he's going to make the same check the other one did with double advantage and with 2 help dice. And it's going to basically just going to see how much ground he can cover. All right, the checks are really low. 7. And then the help dice, I forgot. 2 help dice. Nope, that's not right. I'll take the first D8, and it should be a D6 for the second one. Okay, so a total of 7 added to 7 to make it 14. He only covers 2 spaces, despite all the help and all the empowering and all that. So he's going to cover this space and this space. And that'll basically be it. So that's their turn. You're already kind of sussing out their gimmick of just like coating you in mud and making it hard for you to move. And that's about it. On to your turn.
Well, that first one got hit off on me, and I tell you what, that's just awful. I had these clothes pressed today for this event.
Ruined it immediately.
Literally. So we've got to do something about this. Sorry about that, I'm just reading. I'm trying to figure out how to close the gap really quick.
Yeah, and you're good.
I think I need to, wow, that's kind of crazy. Misty Step is a lot different than I thought it was.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do is try to close the gap with a Misty Step. 1 AP, 1 MP. It's a DC20 spell check. On a success, I get to move 5 spaces. On a failure, I get to move 3. If somehow I get more than 5 each success, then I get to move 2 more spaces.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
But for me, it is literally impossible to get a 25. So
That's true.
I literally can only hope for a success.
That's true. It'd be enough to get you past the difficult terrain easily, but
It's just not it's not how I thought it worked.
Yeah.
That's all I was thinking. But I did end up getting an 18, which is pretty close, but still no cigar. I got a 3 space teleportation though. And I'm gonna do it right over here.
nice.
Basically and I blink myself right in front of the mud. Still angry. Hopefully the mud that was on my clothes is back there, but it's probably still on me.
Yeah,
And,
everyone was saying I was too generous, so I'm gonna say it's still on you. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's all right. That's all right. But I do need to make a severe attack against these buttheads. Magic missile again. I'm going to use 2 AP, 1 MP, and I'm going to empower it.
Okay.
So that way it would have been disadvantaged, but now it's just a straight roll.
Excellent.
Man, that's not going well. So I rolled the 2 plus 4 at least. So we got a 6. On a failure, I still get 1 missile, so I get to send that bad boy out, and I'm going to hit red.
Okay. Sounds good. So it does hit red. And as the missile slams into the creature, you watch its form quickly just kind of like melt back into the dirt. It also only had 1 HP, so it's done.
Okay,
Now
nice.
there
I was
are
gonna count on that.
now there are only 2 enemies opposing you.
And that was all of my actions. So please see what they do.
Alrighty, I'm gonna take the hindered thingy off of you, so I'm not getting confused with that. Cool. All right.
Definitely.
So now there are 2 left. They seem pretty intimidated that you're coming up to them now. So I think that blue is going to actually try to get some cover real quick behind this little treasure chest of sorts. And then he's going to do the same mud slinging attack to try to hit you with his other 2 AP he's got left. So 1 for the attack and 1 for advantage to try to make sure he hits you. And it worked out for him. So the 18, that's only a normal hit this time though. So it is 1 bludgeoning damage for the mud actually hitting you, and then another physical save from you as well.
Absolutely.
I guess looking back at it, I should have had your Misty Step check. Should have actually been the one with disadvantage, but it doesn't matter anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking it was just like disadvantage on an attack, not any check whatsoever.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. It might have been worse for you actually to do it the way we did it.
Well, I mean, I failed the Misty Step anyway.
Right.
So
That's true.
The same thing would have happened.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, 15. So you do save this time. So yeah, you get hit with the mud ball, take 1 more bludgeoning damage, but you are able to kind of like slick it off of your body to the point that you're not hindered by it this time. Green is actually going to do kind of the same thing. He's going to try to get some cover behind both his ally now too, and he's gonna do the exact same thing actually. So he's going to take that 1 to move, get a little bit of cover, or let's say Green was back here. Could he move through his buddies? I'm going to put him behind the wagon instead. I don't know. He can go there anyway. So we'll do that. Okay. And then he's going to do the same thing with the attack and advantage to try to make sure he hits you and goops you up.
Definitely. Goopy.
Yeah, goopy. Only a 12 this time around. So
Nice.
that time
And-
completely misses.
Exactly. See, I'm kind of getting, the hang of their attacks.
Yeah.
I see the mud ball coming my way, and I know, like, it's lagging a little behind the way I see it.
That's right. So you see it coming this time. It just splats on the ground behind you, already adding to the difficult terrain. And you're good. So that's it for their turns. Back up to you. They are looking a bit worried as far as mudlings can look anyway.
Good.
I will say that the current positioning, they both have half cover.
Okay, so very first and foremost, I would like to do my, it's just too good. I have to try. It's the magic missile. And does cover affect magic missile in any way?
Good question. I would say full cover might, but half cover, I'd say probably not. Like it's supposed to be something that just straight up seeks the target. So full cover, it might have an issue, but nah, I'd say right now, half cover, not enough to help these guys.
All right, well, magic missile, I'm going to amplify it twice, give it advantage twice.
Ooh, very cool.
Let's see how this goes for me.
This is an all-out super Kamehameha.
A 3, a 12, and not great. But, I still got 16 for my check, which is 5 over 10. So I got 3 targets coming its way. 1 for green, and 2 for blue.
Alrighty. Quickly, you watch as the last of these mudlings are pummeled by the magic missiles flying through the air towards them. And that will end this wave. So, a couple things will happen. You'll see the mud difficult terrain that was behind you does indeed disappear. All of the mudlings disappear, and you feel excellently rejuvenated, my friend. How do you... to do the thing. Oh, I forgot the thing. How do you feel all special and rejuvenated as your effects and resources return to you, and you have a moment to recoup and place yourself wherever you'd like to be in the arena as well.
Excellent. Would you say my Shield of Faith now drops as well? Should that probably drop every combat?
Even though it lasts a while, technically, I would say yes. Just because you get all your resources back and all that, it'd be like a total refresh.
But all right, my character is ready. I'm gonna move back to the end of the entrance every single time to hopefully like make it the same.
Okay. So, as you prepare yourself for the next wave, you hear some almost sounds like wood, what am I trying to say? Wooden wind chimes. You know how like people have those and they just like dink and clink together? Like it sounds kind of small, you know, like nothing, no big crazy creatures or anything. But you see walk out of the darkness on the other side 3 marionette-like puppets. You see that they're all dressed like archers. They have a quiver on their back and they're all holding bows, and they look identical to each other. And interestingly, they almost like move at the same time as if they're being manipulated somewhere from unseen strings all at the same time. And they are going to appear right there. And they'll kind of spread out a little bit too. It'll probably be something like that when they first walk in. Yeah, there we go. So you quickly see, interestingly, you see one brandish its bow and aim towards you. And then the exact moment that the bow is like outstretched, ready to rock, you see that the other 2 reach for arrows like simultaneously. And it's interesting the way that they move together in a sense. So what do you do with that?
I'm going to be diving behind that rock.
Okay, cool. I'm going to say, let's actually treat that as your initiative check too. So if you'd like to make an agility or maybe even like trickery check, I guess I could go for that too.
Let's see what's the best for me.
Or acrobatics to roll there, something like that.
I have 3 for acrobatics and 3 for trickery as well. So both are pretty good for me.
Okay. So I'd let you make either, and...
I didn't do well.
Okay.
Did not do well.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to say that, oh boy, so that being your initiative, bummer. All right, this one's not going to feel too good, but basically I'm going to say that you look to dive behind the rock, and that was your action. And unfortunately, it does give one of these guys an opportunity to act a little bit faster than you do, which is even dirtier the way that these guys are going to work. But okay, so basically the first, here, let me get these guys labeled too, so it's easy to keep track of them. Okay, same deal. We got a red, blue, and a green. Sir Red sees you quickly about to dive, and he's going to make a simple ranged, like short bow attack against you, more or less.
Okay.
And he's just going to use 1 AP, like a normal short bow attack. But you notice that exactly as he makes this attack, it prompts a reaction from the other 2 to be able to attack off of their turn.
Dang, okay.
So the first one's attack is I'm going to be adding 2 to their attacks as well. So the first one's actually a 17 to hit, yeah?
Definitely hits, and it's a heavy.
Okay. So it's 1 base damage, so it would be 2 piercing damage altogether. And then quickly, as a reaction, the other 2 will attack as well. First one only with a 4, and the next with a 10.
Both actually miss.
All right, nice. So they're actually down to, they're both down 1 AP. Okay. That is the first attack. Okay, dang, I forgot. Okay, buckle up. Did you add the extra 1 max HP? Okay, yeah. All right. Just checking. Okay.
That's because I'm going to kill ya.
I'm worried. I'm concerned. That's all I'm saying. Now, this is going to be a similar thing. Basically, Red is going to attack again, and he's going to use his last 2 AP to make it a straight roll instead of disadvantage. And unfortunately, because the attacks that it opens up for the puppets working simultaneously because those are reactions, they do not suffer from the multiple action penalty. So this guy will, with a straight roll, which is going to be a 12, which is just enough. So it's 1 piercing damage again. Quickly prompting the other 2 with their reaction attacks again. First one only with a 5 altogether. Second one with a 14. Still just 1. Okay, so yeah, 1 more piercing damage. That is the end of Red's turn.
Oh, buddy. Yeah.
Yep.
And does blue and green go as well, or did they use their actions during Red's?
So the way to work, it's almost hard to tell when it's like one person against a team because it's hard to see how the order goes, but one of them got to attack first, and then you will go, and then the rest of their team will go to end the whole, order, basically. So,
Okay.
So you are up. And the other 2, when it is their turn, will have less resources because of all their reactions that they've already taken this round. So, yeah. So you are up after Red's turn.
Sounds good to me. So this doesn't seem like a situation that I really want to be in. I'm going to move back over here, hopefully taking a little bit of cover on this rock.
Yes.
That's 1 AP to move, and I have speed of 5. So should be good there.
All right. I'm going to say anything in the zone of the rock is a full cover situation, as it is like a relatively large rock there.
Okay. Nice. So 1 AP to move, and I'm going to do a Shield of Faith. Try to pop that one up right now. 16 plus 4 gives me 20. That's actually what I wanted for another plus 4 to my physical defense. Bring it all the way up to 15. I have 1 action point left and full cover. Does that mean they can't attack me from where they're at?
Correct. Where they are right now, they straight up cannot see you and cannot attack you.
Okay. So they have to come to me. Well, in that case, I'm going to be as defensive as possible and still take the dodge action with my last AP.
Okay. Sounds good.
So the next attack against me has disadvantage, and I increase my physical defense, plus I have full cover.
Let's go. That immediately, you just became like what's the word? A bulwark? Is that a word?
I think so.
I think that's the thing. You just became a tank, basically. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's right.
Okay, so it is blue and green's turn. So they only have 1 AP left each. And I don't know that they're going to use it to move. It's hard to say. Oh, what a strategic decision here. Okay, so basically, blue is going to decide with his last AP, he's going to give the help action to Red as he attempts to distract you or whatever when Red does attack. And green is going to give the help action to blue for blue's next attack. So basically they're just gonna be like slinging arrows kind of recklessly the next time that they can attack to distract you, to allow pinpoint shots. And that's all they're gonna do with the rest of their AP. So we are back to the top of the round, I suppose, which is actually Red again, and then you, which I forgot about. Okay, so what Red's gonna do, let's see. Red's gotta move. He can't do anything to you right now. So he's going to kind of like skirt through a little bit. He's gonna use a bunch of action points to try to actually get to you. He can only move 4 squares. Dang. Okay, so with 2 action points burned, I'm gonna allow him to come over to this point, and even then it's not a great shot on you. I'm gonna still give you half cover, but he's going to try to shoot you there with his last action point.
Right.
Go ahead.
Is there a way that I can make it so he can just see me, or maybe even take the hit like a champ and have the other 2 still not see me? I just want to prove a point, you know what I mean? Step out and be like, go bud.
Very cool. Yeah, I would say the way this is going to work is even if he attacks you here, the other 2 cannot hit you from where they are. You definitely still have full cover from them 100%. So they'll have to do some stuff to move and everything else. So their reaction to be able to attack you is not going to work out this round, guaranteed. They'll also have to move some stuff, it looks like.
Okay. So I did take the dodge action last time, so he still technically has disadvantage.
That's true. So you've got half cover and he has disadvantage on this attack.
Yeah, I don't really want to waste all of that, but I do have some cool stuff for if anyone actually hits me.
Oh, okay. So are you considering allowing yourself to be a little bit more open to this on purpose then?
I don't want to waste all of the bonuses that I have taken, so I'll see if he actually hits me with a natural 20 or something.
Okay.
Just wait for the, oh, wait a minute though.
Okay, I hear you. Okay, cool. All right, so he will attack once, and it'll be at disadvantage because of your dodge. So let's see here. Way low. 2 plus 2, make it a 4 to hit you. He did have 1 help die. I don't think it can be enough anyway. Bring it to an even 10.
Nope. Doesn't.
Okay. So he does miss you, and that was all of his actions to be able to do anything this round. So you're actually back up at the top now.
Dang, okay. All right. I kind of wanted to do something cool with the reactionary spell, but we'll wait for that one.
Okay.
I think the first thing I want to do, looking over all of these spells.
Yeah, I know you've got a lot of options there.
Okay, so I'm actually just going to cast Lightning Blade and amplify it by 1 MP. Now this Lightning Blade is going to embody my entire Chain Whip. And the Chain Whip only the Chain Whip can hit them from 2 spaces away.
Oh, very cool. I see where this is going.
Yep. I'm going to step forward, activate Lightning Blade, and it imbues a melee weapon with crackling energy. The next successful attack sheaves the target in booming energy. If the target leaves or is moved from its current space, they take 2 sonic damage.
All right. Sick. If they leave, cool, it pins them down.
I also spent 1 MP on the Lightning Blade to increase the damage by 2. So if the target leaves or is moved, they take 4 damage. Okay. And I'm going to be attacking them with my Chain Whip. Hopefully I can, let's see.
Oh man. Are you going to do what I think you're going to do? This is so cool.
Yeah, I want to pull them in.
Oh, that's so cool.
I don't think the Chain Whip specifically has a grappling ability. I'm not sure if I'm able to do that.
Okay.
That would be really cool.
That would be super cool.
In that case, I'm still going to do that. I'm going to hit him with the Chain Whip. So I guess let's make a physical check. Yeah. And all right. This is what I'm going to do. I figured it out.
Okay.
First off, I'm going to just crack out my whip, imbue it with the Lightning Blade, and make it a little bit more powerful. So that's 2 AP and 1 MP down. I'm going to try to hit him. I'm going to try to hit him with my Chain Whip at a base roll. Did not work at all. Dang it.
So much planned.
I know.
Now what? That's the question.
Is the question. I guess I'm just going to take the Lightning Bolt cantrip and see if I can't hit him with that. It's a spell check against the target's physical defense. And since this is my second attack or second spell, it's probably at a disadvantage for repeated.
Yeah, was the first one a spell check?
The Lightning Blade was.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Yes, unfortunately.
No worries. Not bad, though.
Yeah, still decent.
14 plus 4 for an 18 to hit this guy.
The physical defense of this wooden creature is 12.
Nice. Okay. So target hit. Yes, we get 3 lightning damage, actually.
All right. That's big. So there might be a part of you that's worried that because these creatures are like made of wood, they might be a little bit resistant to lightning damage, but the wood that they're made of quickly like singes and kind of like burns in some areas because of the lightning, and it seems to take full effect.
That's awesome.
So he does take the 3 damage.
And how's he looking? Did that affect him at all?
Yeah, messed him up real bad. In fact, I'd say like there's several pieces of him that like burnt almost completely through, and he's got very little left in the tank.
Yeah, definitely. So I only moved forward 1 with my AP. I'm going to move back just a little bit right over here to hopefully get cover from everybody if I can.
Absolutely, and I would say that would be enough to get you full cover, as you did actually like peek all the way back to the opposite side of the red marked marionette. So giving you full cover yet again.
Nice.
Okay, so red's locked down. Okay. Oh no, he's not locked down, but it's not his turn anyway, so that's good.
Would have been nice if he was locked down.
Yeah, hey, that's still an awesome plan. Okay, so the other 2 now with all of their action points, as they weren't able to do any kind of reactionary stuff that time around. Let's see here. Basically, not that you'd be able to see it necessarily, but the green and blue kind of like seemingly are like working together a little bit. Green is going to quickly rattle off several shots towards the cover that you're around, trying to like, spark the corners of the rock and everything else, trying to distract you and push you one way or the other. Basically just granting the help action to blue before he moves strategically. And then blue moves. And let's see here. Move 4 spaces with the first try. And I'm going to make him move twice to actually be able to get a good shot on you again. Putting him there. And I will say that even now, you still are working with a half cover situation there as he's trying to hit you with his last action point.
Okay, nice.
And sorry, I had to think if he has the help die still from Green's last turn, because it has not gone to Green's turn yet.
Well, it would make sense.
But if that's true, then Green actually would not have been able to give him the help die. Oh, well, listen, I feel like I need to explain myself. Because blue and green are working on the same turn order, like actually the same turn order, they are going at the same time. They can, like PCs, interweave their turns together if they'd like. So it actually does make sense. But if that's the case, then the help die from the last round would actually reset. So blue is only able to use 1 help die attacking you. That's how that's working. All right, explained it, and I'm happy with it. So he's going to attack you with his last AP, just trying to get a shot on you. Again, you do have half cover.
Sounds good.
With 1 help die. Be a 5, it'd be an 11 after everything's said and done.
11.
But it'd be -2 from the half cover. So it'd be less than that even.
So it definitely doesn't hit.
Excellent. That is everything that blue can do. Green has everything that blue can do. That's Blue's Clues. There's something about that. It's Blue's Clues. Green only has 2 action points. He's going to actually move up behind the treasure chest to continue to try to move closer to you, and then just use his last action point to dodge.
Okay.
So he's kind of playing it defensive as well. And that's that. Yeah, back to the top, which is red. I keep forgetting that. Let's see. Okay. Red is going to move one more time to completely open you up this time. As he runs up kind of you hear wood on wood as his feet touch the wooden steps on the other side behind you. And you look over and he's actually brandishing a shot towards you. This one I'm going to give a normal. This one will be a normal attack, no cover. And knowing he's got the in on you right now, he doesn't have much left. He's going to just fully empower this thing to hit you as hard as he can. I'm going to do 1 attack, 1 advantage, 1 extra damage. Uh-oh, okay. Natural 20.
Okay.
+2 to bring it to 22 total.
So that's only a heavy hit.
Okay, good. So 1 for the piercing, 1 for heavy, 2 for crit. Bring it to 4 total piercing damage.
My goodness.
I know. And of course, now that blue can target you, it opens the reaction for blue to attack once, a normal attack.
So
good.
I was going to actually use returning shot.
Oh, okay. Let's do that first.
It's a reaction destruction spell. It's 1 AP and 1 MP. And spell check against target's physical defense. Target takes 3 lightning damage.
Whoa!
And
that's sick.
The trigger is I have to be damaged by a creature. So if they damage me, hopefully 3 lightning damage. So let's see what they got coming for them.
Sounds good. Oh!
A natural 20.
Yes. All right. That's sick. So what's it look like as you obliterate the red marked marionette with your returning shot?
Honestly, I just take this really, really hard arrow, like angrily, right? And somehow this like even wooden arrow just shoots out a lightning bolt straight back at him and just like...
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Dust him. Just sawdust floating around in the air. A lot of it literally just like burning in embers as it falls down to the ground gently.
Yes.
All right. So he is toast. Blue is now going to follow up with his reaction attack against you after watching his friend just get dusted, basically. He's just like, it'll be just a half cover attack for blue.
Okay.
It'd be a 4 +2 -2. So back down to 4.
So it definitely doesn't hit.
All right, cool. So that's it for red's turn and the reaction for blue. And now it is officially your turn again.
What about green?
It is not, it would be red and then you, and then blue and green. Blue just happened to be able to take a reaction. That's why. So it is your turn and then there too.
Okay, so that put me down 1 AP and 1 MP on my turn. So I only have 3 AP from that reaction.
Okay.
So
good news is because that was a reaction, any check made there will not prompt multiple action penalty. So like if you do another spell check with what you have left, it will not be multiple action penalty.
Perfect.
That's one of my favorite things about reactions. That's why I realize I'm going to start giving monsters reactions out the wazoo, because that's so cool.
Yep. That's why there's never any reactions for players. I'm kidding.
Right, basically.
All right, so I still have the lightning blade because that only deactivates after I've made a successful attack. So
Oh, nice.
I want to step forward about that far and then just try to smack him right in the head.
All right.
And I'm going to empower this attack to give it an advantage.
Let's do it. Oh, it's a big one.
I really didn't even need it. But that's 23 to hit on his physical defense.
23 is a brutal hit.
Perfect. And my lightning blade, if they move from their space, they will take 4 damage from sonic damage. If they move. But right now, I've got 1 damage for slashing on my chain. And then since it's, you said brutal?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 slashing damage right on this guy right now.
Oh, that's big. Okay, cool. So it's enough to nearly cut this thing completely in half. Is just all ripped up from the attack and has, again, very little left in the tank. And if it moves, it is in real danger.
Well, I actually have 1 AP left, I believe.
Yes.
Wait a minute. No, I don't. I moved, I attacked, and I empowered it, and I had the reaction, so that's 4. So I'm actually just going to move back over here to like finish my movement.
Yep.
To give myself cover.
Okay.
Just give me 1 extra space behind it.
Sounds good. Okay. All right, so let's see. Blue and green working together here. Blue. Oh man, would Blue even know? I feel like he feels pretty locked up. Like he would know that if he moves, he's screwed. So
let me find the description of lightning blade. See.
Yeah, it's hard to say. That could go either way because it's like, is it a sensation where they know they're locked up, or is it like?
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping there was going to be like a little blurb that's like, the target is surrounded by a booming sound of electricity within their ears or something. But no, it just says he get hit.
He get hit. It hurt bad. Okay. I'll say he's moderately aware that he's kind of locked up there and can't really move.
Okay.
But boy, does he want to, because green's not going to make it all the way over to you. Green can't make it to you. He could make it over here. And then, actually, he can make it over here and then be able to attack you with a clear line of sight even, I would say. Okay, so he's going to rush out behind using 2 AP and a whole bunch of movement. He's going to rush up behind, up this way, and that looks like a clear line of sight to me, unfortunately.
Makes sense.
Not that blue can do anything with it. So green, kind of panicking at this point, is just going to try to hit you real hard. He's going to use his AP to attack. Again, once to empower it, and once for advantage and once for extra damage.
Okay.
Just blowing all of his resources. Ooh, not very good. 8. Not enough, right? Yeah, sweet. So he runs up there. Oh, he couldn't have empowered it anyway. Just kidding. It would have just been a straight roll. I forgot he used 2 extra points just to get there. So regardless, he shoots you and completely misses. And what is blue even gonna do? I think he's just gonna he's gonna take the full dodge action, basically. And leave with 1 AP left, because what else is he gonna do with it? So he's going to take the full dodge action to try to just stay where he is and be able to maneuver and take a hit. That's it. And red's out of the running, so you are starting the top of the round now.
Okay, so I think the best thing that I can do, for the most part, is just make as many magic missiles as possible.
It's worked out for you in the past. Let's do it.
Exactly. Magic missile, and I'm going to empower it to give it advantage. Ooh, the advantage did not help at all.
It's true.
So I got 13 plus 4, 17. That does give me 1 extra missile, so I have 3 missiles now. And I'm going to send them all straight to green.
Okay.
And as well, I have 1 more action point. So I'm going to take the dodge action.
Okay. So you notice the 3 missiles slam directly into green, which is a total of 3 damage, correct?
Yes.
3 true damage?
Yes.
Okay. So you pummel several holes straight through this thing. It has both of the marionettes left on the field are nearly just crumpling into a pile.
Could I actually correct that to do 1 more thing?
Sure. Instead of dodge.
My fiendish magic, I kind of forgot about that. I can spend 1 less MP for the spell once per long rest or once per combat now.
Okay.
So I was actually going to do that to make it 0 MP. And since I have a mana spend limit of 1, I can increase its damage by spending 1 MP for 1 more missile. So that'll give it 4 missiles to shoot straight through him. If that'll be okay for you.
Yes, absolutely. That makes sense to me.
Okay.
Of course, we are really both learning the game still at this point. Shoot, I've been playing 5e for years, and I feel like I'm still learning that game, to be honest, so it is what it is. Okay, so that is 4 missiles directly at green, correct?
Yes, for the same relative cost.
Okay, well, in that case, what does it look like as these missiles just desolate? I don't think that's the right word. You kill green. What's it look like?
So with this one, it's just like these magic missiles are like just burning straight through them. It takes off an arm, takes off another arm. One goes through the chest, and then it takes off the head.
Perfect. Literally just disassembling this thing into a pile.
Yes.
Very good. You have only 1 left, and it is currently very pinned down. And that's it for your turn, right?
Technically, I have 1 more action point.
What happens now?
I'm going to take the dodge action. And by doing that, I'm just going to be sitting against the rock, more or less, just like, well, this is all over. Kind of like almost like taking a short rest in a way. Like if there's an audience, just showing it up.
Yes, I love that. Absolutely. And I would say there are several people sitting around, some of the craziest people here that are willing to be in a, surrounding a fighting pit full of insane, chaotic things happening. So you get some cheers and things, of course. And they're just like, oh, this guy's so cool. Dang, what the heck does Blue do? He can't move. I feel like there's not a very clear line of sight. There's pretty much mostly a rock directly in the way. All right, narratively, I think... What's that?
My intent was to narratively just chill out and be like, you move, you're dead.
Yeah, 100%. And okay, so I think what's going to happen, earlier I said that he knows he's locked down by the lightning, but realistically I think how this is going to go is he's going to basically just be like, well, I got to do this. I got to make this shot one way or another. He's got very little left in the tank anyway, and he's going to try to just take a step forward to try to hit you, and it's going to blow him up. It's all he can do, So he's literally going to take a step, and as soon as he does, lightning just pops the head off of the marionette, and then the rest of his body just crumples into dust from the fiery lightning, and that'll reset that round as well.
There we go.
Alrighty, yet again, you are feeling good. Resources reset. You are through 2 waves of the gauntlet.
Health up to 13 now.
Okay.
That was a pretty interesting monster, by the way.
Thank you. It's a weird concept where, they act in unison. It's cool.
Dude, honest to God, I thought as soon as I got all of those down, you were still gonna be like, but who's the marionette?
Right.
Who's
the puppet master?
Yes, seriously.
That would have been smart and really cool if I made that the next wave, but I didn't. So, okay. So once you are all reset and recouped, you hear just a weirdly, just ethereal snarling and growling happening in the distance. And it almost surrounds you for a moment, and you're like, okay, it's wolves. But you're like, but it's something ain't right, kind of thing.
Right.
And basically, you see step out of the darkness, or maybe just apparate at the bottom of the stairs, 3 spectral looking wolves, and they are half translucent, incredibly just mangy, almost zombified bodies, and there's just cloth wrapped and they're just draped around them that's just kind of tattered and falling off. Also, I'm going to change them to the token layer. Okay, and they will step forward into the pit. They look very angry. They look vicious. They're eyeballing you, and it basically looks like they're just any second they're just going to charge you. So what do you do?
Okay, so first things first, so first things first, I'm just gonna try my best to attack these guys. I think I need to go out full offense because that's what I'm meant for anyway, right?
Yeah.
They're a little bit far away from me for some of my attacks, so I'm gonna go with crackling lightning because that's the longest one.
Okay.
Actually, wait a minute. One of them has a 15 space. Yeah, either way. Okay, never mind about the spaces. But I'm just going to make a spell check, powering up my Lightning E abilities if it's just an initiative check.
Okay, yeah. I like it. Sounds good. You're prepping to cast one way or another.
Yes.
All right, cool. Sparking energies around you. Go ahead and make your spell check for the initiative.
Actually, really good.
Nice. The DC was 14 and you made it. So you do get to act first fully before any of these creatures.
Nice.
So as you're prepping your crackling mana, what do you actually commit to now?
All right, so I think I am actually going to do Crackling Lightning. Choose an area, line, cone, or sphere. And, okay, never mind. I didn't realize that I had to be the point of origin. I thought I could move it wherever I'd like.
I get you.
Backtracking on that one, I was about to make a lightning storm at their feet, but that's not how that works. I would make a lightning storm around me.
Do the same thing where I mark these guys, make it easier to communicate about them.
Definitely.
There we go.
I want to do something that I haven't done just yet.
All right.
So I'm going to spend 2 AP to channel raw magical energy for 1 minute until incapacitated, death, or I end it early for free. I gain +5 to all spell checks, and I immediately make an attribute save of my choice against my save DC. Immediately make an attribute save, your choice, against your save DC upon use and at the start of each turn. If I fail, I gain an exhaustion.
That's some classic sorcerer stuff right there.
But, you know, +5 to all of my spell checks, and I need to make an attribute save right now and at the start of each turn that I allow this to continue.
Okay.
Okay, so 2 AP, and I'm just going to empower myself. Like, I'm a lightning sorcerer, so you're just going to see, like, lightning crackling through my eyes and just a faint blue aura. And let's see what I can do.
Man, that gives me Dragon Ball vibes in the best way.
Good, good. So I'm going to make it an intelligence save, which I also have proficiency in.
Yeah, mastery. Save mastery or whatever, yep.
Yep. I also have save mastery in, so it's going to be a +4 to this check.
It's good. Oh,
14.
Just enough.
Yeah, literally, that's my... Dude, that's nuts. Okay,
sick.
So first one off the bat, I get a +5 to my spell checks, and I think I have to do Magic Missile.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
That's another 2 AP, gonna use up all of my resources. Actually,
Ooh.
No, I'm not gonna do Magic Missile. I'm actually gonna do Shield of Faith. That'll be so much better for me if I have an increased physical defense instead of damage.
Yeah, so, and the +5 too. That's huge. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. This is also a spell check, so is it going to be diminished returns disadvantage?
Have you made a spell check actually this round?
Technically, no. It was a save.
Yeah, so no. I think you're good. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So in that case, I'm going to empower it because Shield of Faith actually only costs 1 AP, which is just nuts, by the way.
That's cool. I really like that setup. That's really, really cool potential.
Thank you. So I got 17 plus 9.
Yes.
So that's
26.
Yeah. And I got +5 to my physical defense this time.
That is so cool. Okay, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's see here.
That was everything for me.
I'm going to put a little icon that's just like a breaking thing because you're doing like the limit break thing situation or whatever. So just to help us remember that.
Sparking mode activate.
Yeah, literally. Okay, awesome. Okay, was that all your stuff?
Yep.
All right. So you are very physically buffed and your spell checks are doing awesome stuff too. Okay, very cool. So now all of the wolves go. Okay, so these creatures can move 5 spaces with their action to move. So there will be one that moves. Yeah, okay, so red is going to move all the way up to you, get right in your face with 2 action points. That is 10 spaces. Blue is going to also burn 2 action points to move directly up behind the other. And green's gonna do a similar thing where they move up over... Oh man, they definitely like to cut you off over by the rocks though. Yeah, green's gonna move up there. Okay, and dropping some hints here. You are noticing that as they move, there's a few points where they almost become like completely see-through. Like while they're moving and doing stuff, they never really turn invisible necessarily, but you see that their like physical form almost like gets lost in air a couple times before like manifesting itself kind of thing.
Okay.
And then red is going to basically just take a big gnarly bite at you Blue is going to grant him the help action.
Okay.
And that'll be it. So red is going to advantage it. And actually, let me do some math here. I already used 2 action points for all of them. So it will be just a normal attack with the help action from blue.
Okay.
Oh no, really? Okay, I'm nervous for you immediately. So these guys, their bite attacks do 2 base damage. They have a +4 to the attack itself. So the natural 20 is a 24. Yes. So 2 base damage and then 2 for the crit to make it 4 damage.
Okay.
And I don't know if 24, what that did for you. It's heavy.
So I got 16. It's definitely a heavy, but I don't think it's all the way to brutal.
Okay. I said +4 to their attack. I'm going to put that in the tooltip thing real quick.
Okay.
I did not write that down.
So how much damage was that?
Okay. So 20 +4 +1. So it's sitting at 25, and then the damage was 2 base damage +1 heavy to make it 3, plus the crit 2. So it's going to be 5 base damage with the first attack against you.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, it was a crit, so it won't always be that rough, but that was rough.
I am definitely activating my returning shock, though.
Okay, cool. Go for it, as that is the reaction.
Spell check against target's physical defense, and my spell checks are on crack right now.
Yes.
And good thing, because they need to be. 16.
Okay, 16 does hit the physical defense of these guys.
Nice. And that's going to be 3 lightning damage to the wolf.
Okay, that's big. Okay, so the first one there, red in front of you, is already bloodied, actually.
Okay.
So basically you see its form, contort even more, but you notice that its vigor immediately drops significantly with that attack against it, which is how you tell that it's bloodied. So there's that. It would be... Who went first? You went first, so it's all 3 of them now. Okay.
Yep.
Blue has used all of his action points to move. All that's left is green could do something with 1 action point. Let's see. I think basically he's just going to take the dodge action. I don't think there's a whole lot else he could do for now. That's not true. He could basically, you notice, like, in a weird way, like his form almost like melds with Red's for a moment, and he kind of like empowers him and stands Red back up, granting him the help action with his last action point for Red's next attack.
Okay.
But that's all of their actions, and you are back up at the top.
Nice. I had 1 reaction that turn, so I'm down 1 AP. But at the same time, I'm going to use my crackling lightning how I thought I could use it earlier. I'm going to make a sphere, and it affects targets within 2 spaces of me. So all of these wolves need to make it's going to be a spell check against each target's physical defense within the area. And if I hit them, 2 lightning damage.
Okay, that's big. All right, let's do it.
I'm also going to empower this one just to make sure it works.
Good idea. Good thinking. Empowered with the big thingy.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, you have to do saves again or whatever, right, too?
Yes.
I forgot about that.
No, I totally did too. So do you want to keep these rolls and make me make my save, or would you like to do the save after?
Yeah, if it works for you, we can literally just bypass the rolls that just now happened and restart, kind of thing.
Okay, sure.
That just seems easiest and most consistent.
Makes sense to me. So I need to make a save. Nice. Okay, so 13 plus 4 makes 17, and I made the save of 14. So I still have my overempowered magic. This only lasts for 1 minute, by the way, so it'll be 5 turns max.
Okay.
All right, still overempowered magic, and I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Crackle that lightning and make a 2-space sphere all the way around me. Anyone in those 2 spaces are going to get burned, and that should be everybody.
All right, let's do it.
The rolls were not much better. So
No.
I did it empowered. We got 6 plus 9 to make 15.
Okay, 15 is exactly enough to hit all 3 of these creatures.
That's nuts. Okay, perfect. Every one of them should take 2 lightning damage.
Okay, so you notice Red is actually brought out of the running because of that.
Okay.
So Red is brought down to 0 health, and the way that the lightning crackles around the ground and the aura around you, basically it's enough to completely dissipate the physical form of that spectral wolf, and you are left with 2.
And that was all of my resources, so now it's their turn.
Okay, and you notice specifically, this is going to be a little bit confusing, because they don't have the same HP. But specifically, blue is bloodied.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Okay. I forgot to do some of the cool things the wolves can do that round, but that's okay. So, their turn again now. Right? You said?
Yep.
Okay.
It would be technically Red's, but he's dead.
Right. Okay, so blue and green acting together.
Too bad for green because he helped somebody who can't use it.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Okay, so green is going to use an action to get a bit closer. Blue will do the same. That's actually not enough to give them flanking, so green's going to move a bit further with his move, move action.
Okay.
Now they both can benefit from flanking. Okay, so they both are an action point down. Green is going to attack with his last action point with 3 AP. So the move, the attack, and he'll use one to give it advantage too. Let's see what we got. Okay, 14. I was adding 4 to attacks to make it an 18 altogether for green.
Just barely hits because I'm at 16 right now for my physical defense.
Nice. And I actually forgot the flanking adds 2 also. So it'd actually be 20, but it's still not enough to make any difference there. So
Good.
okay. That is 2 base damage. So
Nice.
He hits you.
I'm going to take that, and he's also going to have to see if my spell hits him as well for a reactionary return shock. That's what
There you
it's
go.
It's called a returning shock.
All right, let's see it. Yep.
Pretty good.
Okay. So that is a heavy hit, just shy of brutal. So a heavy hit, so 1 extra damage. What would base damage be?
Do reactions benefit from heavy and brutals and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely, unless they say otherwise.
Okay, nice. So, 3 base damage plus whatever his physical.
Oh,
was.
it's a heavy hit. So 3 base damage to bring it to 4 then with the heavy?
Yes.
Dang, that is enough for this bite against you. Basically, I imagine you just like shock the crap out of this spectral wolf in like a returning fashion. And it's actually enough to bring him out as well. That's
I'm
hilarious.
basically a bug zapper.
Yeah. They thought they'd get you. It's like, look at this puny sorcerer. We'll just go attack him in person. It's not working out for him so far. All right. I was gonna...
It's actually your turn because that was a reaction. The blue.
Yes. Yep. So blue still goes. He did use 1 action to move a little bit. So he's got 2 left. That's funny. Let's see here. I don't think the tactics would really change any. Basically, he's going to try to attack you the same way. Now without the help of flanking, though. So he's going to attack you and add advantage.
Okay.
Okay. It'd be a 21.
Nice. Definitely hits. 16. That is heavy.
Okay. Looking at 2 base damage. The heavy would bring it to 3 magical piercing damage. And then...
I'm also going to do the reaction on him as well, too.
Dang. All right. Go for it. That's a really good reaction. It deals out damage quick.
Heck yeah, dude. Especially when I'm overcharged. I got 21.
Okay. 21 is a heavy hit.
Nice. 4 damage on this guy.
Nice. Dang, dude. That's enough to take out all 3 wolves.
Nice.
That is hilarious.
That was a quick combat, but that got me down to 3 health, by the way.
Okay, it's a lot of damage out quick. So, I gotta tell you, this isn't something you're supposed to do as a GM, but I gotta tell you, their secret gimmick never even came out because it was reactions that have to happen off of their turn. And every time that you dealt damage, that was like big damage like that, was a reaction on your part. So I was considering that their turn isn't over, you know what I mean, until after your reaction. So they can't do their reaction. But basically, they could have spent 1 action point for any targeted attack against them to immediately just give it disadvantage as they go like all corporeal and, not physically able to be touched kind of thing. But it never even came up. So that was the gimmick that would have made them a bit more difficult, but it kind of just worked out. You just zap the crap out of them with returning shots, and then, they're out.
Definitely.
That was awesome.
I'm gonna look around and be like, what were the normal wolves doing here?
Basically, yeah, literally. That's hilarious. Okay, so the limit break situation, whatever that's actually called, I forgot now. It used to be limit break. That is done. Okay, and again, you are rejuvenated, of course, so feel free to reset all your resources.
Definitely. And it's overload magic. That's what it's called now.
Okay. All right. Now that all your stuff's reset, you, like the air around you, your own mana around you, and like your you could feel the mana in the air. Feels just like weirdly manipulated around you, okay? And you hear just like a weird chiming noise almost, followed by just obnoxiously loud thuds that are kind of shaking the ground a bit. And you see a bit of a callback. You see a very large, magically glimmering crystal golem appear at the edge of the stairs.
That's awesome.
There he is. There's my sweet boy. Okay. And so, yeah, he approaches, walks down, kind of crushes the stairs on his way down. Very big creature. And this one's going to be tough. Okay. So we're on to wave 4. Don't forget to give yourself the extra max HP. Yep. Basically, what do you see him immediately? He's just like kind of slowly, but he like starts to pick it up a little bit in a pace, and you're like, whoa, he's actually moving right now. And he's, so he's like making his way to you kind of thing, just very violently approaching you. So what do you do?
I want to I guess it's technically inspect creature, but like make an intelligence check on this guy just to see if he's susceptible to lightning damage. Like, is he made out of metal or anything like that?
Okay.
I'm just gonna do my best to discern what this creature is and how I can take it out. That's what I want to do for my initiative.
Okay, that sounds great. So do you want that to count for what you're actually saying and initiative, or just start with that for your initiative check and then determine after that if you're following through with it?
Okay, so technically what I would do on my turn is overload magic, and that doesn't have, I guess, an initiative thing. It's not like an attack or something. So right. I guess if I was going to overload magic, then I guess I will say a spell check.
I gotcha. So, okay. So I will say, because this is just kind of like a mental acuity thing, like you're just almost like trying to decide and discern the combat before it happens. If it follows through, it will not cost you any actions for your turn if you end up on the top of initiative. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like, I'd almost let this just kind of be like a free check regardless. And if you want it to count as your initiative check too, that's cool, or not. I'm cool either way.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good to me then. I'll try to discern what the heck this thing is for the most part for my initiative check.
Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. So go ahead and make your intelligence check, or if you'd like, if Arcana is easier, I'd let you add those bonuses as well.
Let me actually check. Arcana is a little bit better at 5, so I'll go with that one.
Okay, 14. So although this guy is very hulking, he is alone, and he's not the fastest creature ever. He's not slow, but the encounter DC was exactly 14. So you do end up on top of initiative, and you learn a couple things about this guy. So basically, the way you can kind of suss out, like the way that the mana is just like almost like glimmering off of this creature. There's more than just like physical crystals. He seems to be bound together with some sort of mana itself. And you venture to guess that basically any kind of mana energies at all are going to be possibly either like less than effective, or maybe he'll be able to even manipulate it one way or another. I'll give you that much. So he seems the exact opposite of susceptible to mana.
Sounds good to me. All right.
He also seems to have a strange, like, I don't know. I don't want to say wisdom, but you venture to guess, meta speaking, that he's going to be both physically difficult to damage and maybe even mystically difficult to damage, if you catch my drift.
I think I do, and it stinks.
It's one stinky drift. Okay. So anyway, you are able to act first, as you did win the initiative order.
Definitely. And I'm going to overload magic, so I'm going to make this spell check to see if I can. 12 plus 4. Nice. Okay, I only had to beat 14.
Nice.
All right. My magic is on crack, and now I'm going to cast Magic Missile straight at this guy. And since I have Fiendish Magic, I'm going to use that immediately. That reduces the 1 MP that would have been cast on the spell to 0. So that means I'm going to amplify its damage by 1 MP to give it 1 more missile.
Okay.
So if I fail, I get 1 missile, but since I amplified it, I get 2. And we'll see if I succeed, I'll get 3, and by every 5, we'll see how much.
Okay, is there anything in the description of Magic Missile that says it cannot be spell dueled or anything like that? I don't think there is, but I just want to make sure. Okay. In all of your empowering and everything else, unfortunately, this mana-infused Crystal Golem is going to engage you in a spell duel.
Okay. Do I make my initial checks and he can test them?
Yep. And you can still do it the way you did too. Like, I wasn't listening exactly because I was thinking, I'm sorry, but like if you empowered it or whatever, like whatever your checks would be can still, be what's normal. And he's just going to make one spell check against you to contest it, basically.
Let's see. So 7 plus 9 because I'm overpowered.
Right.
16.
He has a +4 to his checks. All right.
There we go.
So he didn't quite cut it. Okay. So feel free. Carry on with your thing, and it will hit according to whatever your check was.
Okay. So 7 plus 9 for 16. That means I get 1 extra magic missile. So 4 magic missiles sent straight into his chest for 2 damage.
Yes. Very good. Okay. Very smart. Magic missile seems to impact this creature, and you actually notice that it the missiles slam into this guy, blowing off shards of the crystal around him. He does take the damage accordingly.
Nice.
First check successful.
Well, here
does look like he's got a lot of.
Huh?
Sorry, I was just gonna say it looks like he's got a lot of fight in him still, but that counted.
Good. And unfortunately, that's all for me, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay, so this guy is going to move up a bit. So he's going to use 1 action to move. There we go. 5 spaces just to get a bit closer to you. So he's already used 2 action points.
Okay.
He's going to use his last 2 to cast a spell against you. Basically, you see that a little bit of the ambient light around him. He manages to use and infuse the mana around him to literally grab the light to some sense. And he actually just uses it immediately as just this flashbang thing. He's going to make a spell check against you, against your mystical defense, to try to blind you with radiant energies.
Can I try to spell duel him right back?
Absolutely, you can.
Okay, so for me, I have a lightning bolt, but there's this really cool thing that lightning bolt can do. You can turn it into a lightning orb in your hands. So it's this big, bright, crackling thing of energy, and I'm gonna try to counter it with that.
Okay. Yeah. Heck yeah.
You can't blind me, I'll blind you.
Right. So he'll roll his check. I added the stuff already, so it's a total of 14 for him. His check against you.
Is it a spell check against him?
It is.
Okay. Oh, man. 13.
Okay. So he just hardly beats you. But
I really did not have to roll very high at all to beat him, and I did not.
That's true. Is 14 enough to get your mystical defense?
It is, yes.
Okay. So basically, until his next turn, you're actually blind.
You automatically fail checks that require sight, and all other creatures are considered unseen. You are exposed, attacks against you have advantage, and hindered, you have disadvantage on attacks. Additionally, while you're not guided by another creature, all terrain is difficult terrain to you. Moving 1 space costs 2 spaces.
Okay. So you're all sorts of messed up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. But that's all he can do on his turn. So although you are blinded, you are able to act now.
Nice.
Not sure what happens.
Well, I think the best thing about my shield of faith is that it's not really, I know where I'm at. I don't know where you're at to throw it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and activate that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. That'd be one of the only checks I can imagine that would not be hindered in any way because you're blind. So 100%.
So after that, I'm going to use an extra AP to empower it, so that way it has advantage.
Excellent.
9, and since it's a spell check, I still get to add my +9 for the over-empowerment, but
yes,
before we do anything, we need to roll to see if that sticks around.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
C20 plus 4. It doesn't, and then it ends and I take a point of exhaustion.
Does it end, or do you just take the exhaustion? Does it force it to end that way?
Actually, that's a good...
It'd be kind of brutal if you exhaust yourself, but it doesn't actually end,
It just says gain exhaustion. It doesn't say it ends it.
Yeah, I don't think it does. Okay. I think the original limit break, you could, it was a whole different thing where it was HP that was sacrificed instead or something crazy, and yeah, there was a bunch of craziness. So, okay, so that's up to you.
Right.
I believe
it doesn't end. for me, I take the exhaustion. Since I took the exhaustion, I'm definitely gonna, take the benefits this round anyway.
Makes sense to me, yeah. And I think, I'm pretty sure in DC20, exhaustion is just like -1 to all checks for the first level, so.
That makes it easy. But I'm still gonna do my Shield of Faith. Would you like to stick with the original rolls that we just had?
Last time we didn't, so I'm gonna say no, just to keep it consistent.
Okay, I need a shot collar to make me remember that.
We'll get there. Not to the shot collar,
Right. 11 plus 9 minus 1. We got 19.
Okay. That's funny. It is actually 19. Yeah, okay, sweet.
So for the Shield of Faith, that'll give me, I believe it's 2, 3. Yes.
Okay, nice.
Shield of Faith, that'll give me 3 additional physical defense. At least
Very
I'm
good.
adding something instead of getting another something.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so with the limit,
Sure, I can
or
make one more condition.
keep calling it lemon break, with your overpowered magic overload, I think that's what it is. There we go. I got it. With overload, you do have 1 exhaustion. The effect's still active, however, and blind until the end of, or until his turn happens again. So basically until the end of your turn, you're blind. Do you have anything else you're doing?
I still have 2 AP left, so
Okay.
I'm going to, I believe, from the discernment in the beginning, I'm starting to think that maybe he'll absorb my lightning, or maybe it just won't do as much. So I'm going to stick with Magic Missile, keep it at 2 AP and 1 MP.
All right, sounds good. He is going to try to spell duel you again. That's his whole thing, man. He's got to do it. So he's going to burn a mere 1 AP to attempt to spell duel you, even though it looks like it might not matter. If he makes a spell check, adding 5, bring it to a 15.
I'm pretty sure I rolled that 4.
Okay, plus 8. So basically, so he ends up with a 15. So really, the only way this works is like as you're summoning the mana to send the missiles out, like the very mana that you're like pulling together is literally just like pulled away from you out of the air, and it's just like a dirty, like he's just kind of like, he just has his arms out and then his arms are just like sparkling. He's literally just kind of like manipulating the mana around you to the point that you cannot use it. It's just a dirty trick, this jerk. Yeah.
That sucks. That sucks for my character, but it's almost like, how like the Magic Missile, if you fail, you still make 1 missile. This guy was like,
Yeah.
is like the actual take it.
Yeah, this guy's mean.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's how we work.
Okay, Magic Missile is 2 AP, so you are all spent.
Oh, absolutely. That was all my stuff right there. And honestly, it would have only been 1 missile to hit him, but he was like, fine. I'm going to assume that he ate it.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense to me too. Okay, you are no longer blinded, however. Okay,
Nice.
so now he's going to, with the 3 AP left, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, with the 3 AP left, he's going to, he can't quite reach you. Look at that. Can't quite get to you. Well, he's going to try to get closer to get to you anyway, so that he can next time.
This guy must be a chunkster.
And basically, unfortunately, he's kind of going to do the same thing where he tries this whole blinding situation again. He has 2 AP left. It costs exactly that to do the blind spell. So again, he kind of just contorts the light around him, making his whole body just like as bright as the sun for a brief moment, making a spell check against you to blind you. This one's just a straight roll, +5. Oh my gosh, really? All right, well, the good news is it doesn't hurt you. It would be against your mystical defense, and there's really, unfortunately, nothing you can do about that time. So basically, he just uses the rest of his resources to manipulate a bunch of radiant mana to completely blind you again. Dude's a jerk, man. I'm sorry. That's all he's got, though.
No, that's okay.
Back at the top.
I'm half angel born, so it's like, I can't take this light, even though I've seen it.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, that probably says to me that I was a little bit more fiend born than angel born. That's what it is.
Ooh, could be. Maybe it's just enough neutrality to balance it out.
All right, so it's my turn. I'm blinded. Would Magic Missile have disadvantage? Like, most attacks.
Interesting. That's a good question. I don't know. Are you supposed to be able to see your target?
So none of these spells
Doesn't actually say so, huh?
Yeah, none of the spells say if you can see them,
I feel like if any spell could negate it, it would be Magic Missile. I feel like Magic Missile, you could probably get away with it. Specifically, okay, all right. I'm going to justify it.
Okay.
He's a really big dude, and he literally just ran at you and then blinded you, and then like you're acting immediately after that. So Magic missile, you don't even have to aim. You know the general location of where he is. I feel like with magic missile specifically, you could burn the spell and not have any kind of disadvantages with it.
Okay, nice. So the first thing that I'm going to do is magic missile and empower it.
You are no longer like the overload magic, right? Or are you?
Shoot, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, it's
You're
okay.
right.
I just remembered
We have to, 4 or 5 turns, we have to roll at the beginning of the turn to see if I take a point of exhaustion or if I just continue it.
Okay.
Okay. So
I don't think it's been 5 turns yet, but we're definitely close.
I think it's only been, I think this is my third.
Okay.
13 plus 4.
Okay.
So definitely did not take exhaustion this time. Keeping it up.
Good.
And now I'm going to empower my magic missile. This is going to be 3 AP and 1 MP.
Okay.
17 and plus 9.
Heck yeah. To bring it to 26.
Yep, I was just about to say that.
Very good.
Maybe. Hopefully.
I was just about to say a number. No.
Yeah, right. Something in there. That would actually bring it 3 extra missiles. You said 25, right? 26.
It would be 26, but the exhaustion actually brings it down 1 more to 25. So it is 25.
Okay, you're totally right. But that does give me 3 extra missiles, a total of 5 missiles created for this specific attack, and they're all going straight to this guy.
All right, sounds good. That's very cool. And all that happened without me even thinking about doing the reaction to do it, so too late for that. So basically you just kind of like completely blinded, you just like lunge back, make the quick overload save. Because you saved, you apparated crap ton of, mana in front of you and just like launch out this barrage of missiles against the guy. And you said 5 damage, correct?
Yes.
The golem is exactly bloodied at this point.
Oh, okay. Good.
Not that you could technically see that, but that is the case. Okay, now what?
I do actually still have 1 AP left, and I'm not sure if there's much that I'll be able to pull off from this. But do you think I could Misty Step away?
Ooh.
It takes 1 AP and 1 MP.
Interesting.
I don't necessarily have a line of sight per se. If I Misty Stepped, it wouldn't necessarily matter the direction as long as it's not directly in front of me.
That's kind of true. Yes, I will let you do it, but because you can't see, I would make it a disadvantage.
Okay, so Misty Step with disadvantage.
Still not too bad.
No, it's a DC20 spell check, and I have a plus 9. Oh, with exhaustion, -1, so
right.
19. I did not specifically make it, but I still get a Misty Step of 3 spaces if I fail the spell check.
Okay. All right, where to? 3 spaces away from you anyway.
Yep, 3 spaces away from my current position, and since I can't see, do you want to put me somewhere?
Would it be justifiable that you would go directly backwards from the last general location of where you saw the enemy?
Totally.
Okay. I feel like that is narratively what would make the most sense. And basically, it's just gonna you're gonna Misty Step and you're gonna feel yourself like literally just like slammed against the door behind you.
Nice.
Like you hear the door rattle, maybe even giving some auditory clues as to where you are technically.
That's okay. I was doing it pretty clumsily anyway.
Well, there is that. Okay, that's it for you?
Yep, that's everything.
Okay, you're no longer blind. Oh, that's the wrong one. Stand by.
Is it okay if I'm sitting?
Nope. Nope, you gotta say no. Oh my. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't see the tags, so I had to adjust stuff to see the tags. Okay. So, all right, limit break stuff still happening. He didn't use any reactions that time.
Yep, he's full.
Oh, okay. He's gonna do exactly what you don't want him to do at this point.
Corner me?
Pretty much. He can move to reach you at this point. Okay, he's going to do a couple things here. So he's going to get right up in front of you with 1 AP. He's going to spend 2 AP to, again, try to blind you with the crazy bright flashbang blind spell.
Okay.
And depending on how that goes, he has 1 left after that. Be a dirty 20.
Definitely hit me.
All right, so unfortunately, you are blinded yet again, and he has 1 AP left to try to hit you physically. So now you are blinded. He has advantage against you because you're blind, and he will just be rolling a d20 for a attack check instead of a spell check this time, with advantage because of the blind. Okay, so it'd be 14 plus 5 to make it 19 against your physical defense.
Nice. That's just a heavy hit.
Okay, all right. It is 3 base damage,
3 base damage. I'd also like to activate my reaction too, if that'll work.
Yes. So 3 base damage plus the heavy, you said, to make it so it's going to be 4 bludgeoning damage altogether.
Oh, 4 bludgeoning damage? Okay.
Yes. Sorry, the heavy makes it 4.
No, you're good. I think that's the first damage you've dealt to me, actually.
Nice.
And now I need to make a spell check against your physical save.
All right.
So that didn't work.
You never know. You could roll a natural 1 too. Okay, nope.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say physical save. Spell check against physical defense.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Yeah. And I mean, you absolutely trounced it either way, but...
That's 1 natural 20 that happened right there uselessly instead of on the next turn possibly though, so that's good. All right.
Okay, so no reaction, no damage. I'm going to assume that I still absolutely use that AP though. And MP.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too.
There is something to... I don't remember. There is something to natural 1s with spells. I think you just expend all the stuff still and don't hit.
Okay.
Or something. I don't know. Something like that. Okay.
Oh, well, I was hoping to see what would happen if I hit him with electricity, but it doesn't look like that'll happen this time.
Right. All right. So...
Is that the end of his turn?
Yes. Yep, it is.
Nice. Okay. So I need to get around this guy. So first things first, it's definitely going to be... Excuse me. So first things first, it's definitely going to be a Misty Step to see if I can get behind that fence that he's around.
Smart. Okay, couple things. Even though I didn't mark it, you are currently blind until the start of his next turn.
Oh, okay. Yes. Totally
and if the overload magic is still happening, you'll have to do a thing for that again. That's your call.
Yes, definitely. This will be the 4th round, so we only got 1 more left for that.
Okay.
And since I'm still blind, disadvantage on the Misty Step?
Yeah, I'd let it still be possible because you are backed up against a wall and you know that it's the door and you know that the creature's in front of you. So I'd give you enough of a, vague understanding of where you are to let you Misty Step just with disadvantage.
Okay. First, save DC.
Oh, killed it.
Yep, got it.
Sweet.
After
so
that,
that's still good.
Misty Step with disadvantage. Natural 1.
Oh, no.
At least Misty Step still has an effect if you fail. But what do you think about natural 1s?
If it doesn't say anything about critical failures in the spell, then we'll just treat it like a failure.
Okay. So I still get to Misty Step 3 spaces. And I'm going to just try my best to Misty Step behind where this dude would have been.
Okay. Sounds good. Would you like me to put you there technically? Okay, there you go. Good.
Okay. Now, after that was only 1 AP, and I should still have a decent amount of wiggle room here. Okay. So, as a sorcerer, I also have the once per long rest, add an mana point enhancement for no MP.
Yes.
Once per long rest, use a 1 MP spell enhancement without spending MP. That's a better way to word it.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
So, definitely going to be activating up my magic missiles again. And since I can use that mana point enhancement, I'm going to have it 1 more missile.
Excellent.
And I'm going to do it with advantage to use up the rest of my resources.
There you go.
Or action points.
Okay.
Ooh, 18 plus 9. Very nice. It's 27.
Okay.
Actually, 26 because...
Okay. And of course, I did the thing where I forgot to contest it. But I don't think it would have beat a 27 anyway, or 26, so it should be fine.
Nice.
All right, cool.
That gives me an extra 3 missiles because of the high roll, but also 1 extra missile because of the mana point enhancement for once per long rest.
Dang,
so that's
bro.
6 true damage on this guy right now.
Dang, bro. That is huge. All right. So those 6 missiles doing true damage cannot be negated by any kind of damage resistance. Wink, wink. Just slam into this guy, just like barraging him with holes. And honestly, there's very little left keeping him standing up. You are absolutely obliterating him with these magic missiles.
Nice. There we go. That was all of my resources, so it's right back to you.
Okay. Dang, dude, I am shook. And so is this guy. It's going to be so dope if you... Okay, all right, here we go. Now panicking, this guy's going to do the same spiel. You're right in front of him. He's got the gimmick going on here. He's going to, again, try to blind you. And you know what's going to happen after that. He's just going to try to slam you. He's just going to try to blind you to get the, advantage on you. And then just trying to hit you. So he's going to use 3 action points to make sure that he blinds you. He's kind of panicking at this point.
Okay.
So 2 to cast it and 1 to give it advantage. So let's see. Both 9s plus 5. Is that enough to clear your mystical defense with 14?
Yes, it is. I got a mystical defense of 12.
Okay. So he does manage to blind you, pumping a little extra resources into it. And then he's going to use his last action point to just slam a big crystal arm onto you, hopefully, for his sake. He is looking rough at this point. But because you are blind, it's with advantage.
Sounds good.
Okay. 18 plus 5, bringing it to a 23 against physical.
Okay, I got a 14 for my physical defense, so it's heavy, almost brutal, but not yet.
Okay. All right. Again, it is 3 base damage. The heavy brings it up to 4. So hit you with 4 bludgeoning damage there as he blinds you again and just slams his arm on you like a big dumb brute.
I'd also like to make a reaction to that if I can.
Absolutely.
And now, let's see if this does any better. Natural 20 plus 9.
Uh-oh. Okay. And because, again, I'm not going to let him use action points for a reaction because your reaction happens at the very end of his turn. So, like, his turn actually isn't over. That's how I've been ruling it thus far. That's a whole lot, man. It's over. It negates damage resistance because it's a crit and heavy and a bunch of stuff after that.
Oh, I totally forgot about the negate resistance part.
Yep.
So that's 3 lightning damage base, and then what's his physical defense?
His physical defense is 16, or should I say was 16, because this is going to be enough to finish the Crystal Golem.
Nice. 5 lightning damage just shatters him into a bunch of little pebbles.
That's crazy! My mind is blown! This guy was a hulking monster with 4 AP, 1 damage resistance, the blind spell, an ability to completely negate spells with spell duels with 1 AP, plus 5 to his checks, 18 health, 16 physical defense, 15 mystical defense. You took him out. That was a solid fight right there.
Nice, dude. And you know, it's really funny. I don't think I have a single spell that attacks somebody's mystical defense either.
That is funny. That's sick. Okay. That is the 4th wave. The 4th wave. There's only 1 wave left of the gauntlet. Let me get all the status crap off of you because you are reset back to normal. So no more exhaustion also. Everything's reset.
Totally right.
With 1 extra HP to you also.
Yes.
And okay, so basically you are you're back to wherever you are, you know. There is, you hear just like one obnoxious loud howl of sorts, and then it is like twinned in harmony with another howl as you see a 2-headed hydra just walk out of the darkness, spewing a plume of just like greenish acid into the air that just evaporates into mist, and then followed by a plume of fire as well from the other head. I got this. As this decently large, but actually not full grown hydra walks into the fighting pit in front of you. It does not have wings, for the record. It's just like this big, gnarly lizard with 2 heads. Yeah, ready to pummel you, possibly. So, what do you do now?
Well, luckily, I read Gimbli's Guide to Monsters, and I know that you're supposed to cut a hydra's head off, so...
Yep, that's true.
First off, I think I'm going to just do a spell check as my initiative to see how this goes.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Prepping your spells in one way or another. Feel free to make that initiative check. Oh,
20.
Okay, so you do get to act first, and your first check has advantage.
Nice. Okay. So my first check is going to be an overload magic then.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense to me.
10, 14, which is my spell DC.
Yes, so it's exactly enough.
Yep. All right, overloaded. And now I'm going to go straight into magic missile.
All right, let's do this. Yep. Again, I just want to preface this. This is
no damage.
Yeah, I just want to preface this. This is wave 5, everyone, okay? So this one should be near impossible. And I'm just going to apologize now if it's not fun. Carry on.
No worries. So magic missile, and it's just a, if the stuff from a long rest resets every one of these rounds, I'm going to empower it for free to give it 1 extra missile.
All right, go for it.
10 plus 9, 19. I only needed a 10 to succeed. 5 gets it an extra. So we've got, let me see the spell real quick just to make sure I'm doing it right. 2 missiles, 3 missiles, and then 4 missiles heading straight towards this Hydra's head. And I don't know if it matters, but I'm gonna try to hit the fire head as much as I can.
Okay, that sounds good. Yes, that sounds very good. Sorry, I had to adjust a couple things. Okay. So the fire head, you said. Very good. And how many missiles?
4.
4. All right. Alrighty. So the 4 missiles slam directly into the head of the fire Hydra, and they make solid impact. They, scatter across the thing's face and neck and everything else, and they make some solid damage against this thing.
Nice.
And it is, I will say, because you're pointing it out too, it will matter which ones you're targeting. So, it makes a difference for sure. I'll keep track of that.
Okay, definitely. That, unfortunately, is all my resources for this turn, so feel free.
Okay, so this Hydra, basically you're going to notice the fire Hydra that you had already hit is now very angry. It kind of wells up this large plume or fireball of sorts towards you. It's going to empower it a little bit too. So it's going to empower its attack once. All right. This bad boy has a +6 to its attacks.
Oh my.
Yep.
Against physical defense?
Yes, sorry.
Nope, you're good.
Yep, so the attack is against physical defense. Roll a 13 + 6 to bring it to 19.
Yep, and we got a heavy hit for that one.
Okay, and with the Hydra's single head of the fire attack, spitting the plume of fire towards you, the acid Hydra head immediately uses anything the fire attack head, does as an opening and can make a reaction attack against you. Despite it being the same turn, it's important as the reaction. And because it's a reaction prompted by the other head, it actually gets a help die automatically with its attack.
Okay.
So, it being a reaction, it's going to... yes?
Did you declare how much damage was from the fire hit?
Oh, I did not. It's 3 damage by default.
Okay. And then it was a heavy, so 4?
Yes. Sorry about that.
No, you're totally good.
A lot of thinking going on here. Eventually this will be smoother. Okay, so because the opening, the acid head gets to attack with an automatic help die, and it's going to empower its reaction once. Yes, and that's all of the AP left for that round. So basically it's going to attack, going to give it advantage, and it's going to get the help die. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the attack and help die brings it to 20 plus 6, right? Okay, looking at a 26 against physical defense for that attack.
I got 11 physical defense currently, so that's heavy, brutal. Is it all the way up?
Yeah, it'd be brutal +1.
Dang, there you go.
Okay, so it's 3 base damage plus the heavy to make it 4, brutal 5, brutal +1 for 6 acid damage. As it used the opening of the other head's attack.
I'm gonna look around and be like, I didn't know I was vulnerable to acid damage.
Basically, and this thing just lets out a big gross howl, just spewing fumes into the air. But that concludes its turn. Doesn't move a lick.
All right, first things first. We're gonna dive behind this rock here, try to take as much cover as we can.
Okay, sounds good.
After that, activating our Shield of Faith. It's 1 AP, 1 MP, empowering it once to hopefully give it advantage to do what it should do. A 12 plus 9 to give it a 21, which gives us an extra 4 physical defense, bringing us all the way up to 15.
Okay.
Now that we've got another 2 AP, I think oh, wait a minute. I moved, so that's 1 AP down. So we have 1 AP left.
Yes.
I do, however, want to do the Lightning Bolt cantrip. A spell check against a target's physical defense. Target takes 2 lightning damage, and I would also like to... That's actually it. I was thinking of a different spell that says you can use a mana to use 2 action point enhancements, but this one is not that spell.
Okay.
So I'm just going to do the Lightning Bolt.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, all right, cool. Go ahead and do all that. Let's get the spell check for that one.
Oof. Not the best. 15.
15 is exactly enough to hit.
Nice. Very nice.
Were you targeting a specific head?
I'm going to focus my fire pretty much solely on the fire head.
Okay. All right. How much damage then? 2.
That's
Perfect.
2 damage for this guy.
Excellent. Okay.
lightning if it matters.
All right.
And are they made of metal?
They are not made of metal. They seem to have a natural draconic-like chitinous armor to them.
Okay.
Carapace, that's the word, right? I don't know. One of those words.
I think that makes sense.
Okay.
And that should be my turn?
Okay. And you are doing the overload magic still, right?
Oh, yes.
That's okay. If you want to just make the save for it now, that's fine.
No, absolutely.
There's so much happening. I really didn't want to interrupt your train of thought. I was just like, I'm just going to let him get through it, and then we'll do it.
Totally agree. And thank you for that. We got 15 plus 4, 19. Definitely
Nice.
made it.
Sweet. So it was enough to clear it anyway. No exhaustion anyway, so that's all good. Perfect.
Appreciate that.
Okay. That's all you got? You're spent?
Yes.
Okay.
I definitely need to get used to playing a sorcerer.
A lot going on there.
It's almost like a magic barbarian.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, pretty much. Okay, I'm going to have this guy move the 6 spaces that he can with 1 move. Then I'll have him move again to try to actually be able to like see you, which he does. After 2 action points spent, he's going to just scurry across the battlefield. You hear just like a bunch of loud thuds slowly coming around the rock, basically, until he ends up behind you in this area.
Oh boy.
But that's 2 action points down to get there. And it's going to be the same situation, but this time it's going to be kind of reversed. The acid head is going to attack you with a normal attack using only 1 action point. I've been adding 6, so it's a 9 to physical defense.
Oh, do I still have cover or something?
Oh, no, I'm just really bad at math. It'd be 11 to physical defense.
Okay, totally. And typically that would hit me, but I still have my shield up. So
there you go. Okay, cool. And even though that doesn't hit, actually because that doesn't hit, it does not prompt the reaction for the opening for the other attack. So it will be a... the other head is still going to attack with a fire plume instead, but it will be at disadvantage instead of the reaction giving it a normal attack.
Okay.
So basically the multiple action penalty is prompting this time around. The firehead is going to try to just attack you with disadvantage. It's not going to cut it. The 2 plus 6 to bring it to 8 is definitely not enough.
Okay, yeah, definitely didn't hit that one.
So it was unfortunately enough to suss out your cover, but neither of them actually hit you. They're basically just like spitting these plumes and they're just hardly missing you. You're dancing around them, whatever. And that is their whole turn, actually. That one worked out for you.
Nice. Okay, so I want to ask you if this will be possible.
Okay.
I want to wrap my chain whip around its neck to the point where I even lose my whip. I want to make it wear my chain whip like a necklace almost.
Oh, very cool. Yes,
Could I
okay.
lasso it in some way?
Yeah. So how about this? How about this won't necessarily... How about we make it a check where you give up the damage that the hit might cause, and if you hit, it just wraps it like a collar.
Okay,
Okay.
definitely.
All right, let's make it happen.
Would you also allow me to activate Lightning Blade to inflict sonic damage if it moves?
Ooh, yeah.
Or is that too much? Yeah?
I mean, that makes sense. So, yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
I don't see why that shouldn't work. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So with my chain, I'm going to just slash it out, right? And then it's just going to start embodying a whole bunch of electricity that goes around it. And I'm just going to basically like go for a whip, but it's almost going to be like throwing a bolo. So just like going around him.
Yep. All right, cool.
Lightning Blade costs 1 AP, and I want to use 1 mana to enhance it. And then I'm going to attack, but I want to do it with advantage, so I'm going to enhance that as well. So altogether, that's 3 AP and 1 MP.
Okay, gotcha.
12, 16?
16 is enough.
Nice. Okay. So no slashing damage or anything, but I wrap my chain around his neck, and if he moves, he takes 4 sonic damage.
Very cool. Did you want to specify which neck it's around then?
The fire neck.
Okay, I thought so, just making sure.
And I want to just scurry away with what time I have, so I'm going to use my last action point to just get right behind this rock.
Okay.
Maybe it'll give me enough cover to possibly get a small advantage, but if that guy moves, he's getting it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I would say still, as long as you're dancing around the rock to be actually on the opposite side, the rock is going to continue to give full cover, as I said earlier. All right, back to the Hydra's turn. Let's see. The thing is very large. I'm going to have it move directly towards you And I'm going to have it make an athletics check to actually climb on top of the rock.
Okay.
With a DC of like 12. And if that works out, it will use its move to basically just like get on top of the rock.
That's probably pretty smart. And it's probably way bigger than the rock anyway.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't want to make it so easy that it's like completely... well, it's not going to do too great though. Okay, so... in that case, it's going to use enough movement to get to the side here instead.
It's just a really sharp rock. That's what it is. He doesn't want to step on it.
Yeah, maybe. So he's actually going to come around this way instead then.
He'll take the 4 damage whenever he moves.
Oh, that's right. See, I already forgot about that. But he's definitely moving, so that is okay. All right, so he's going to move over here with 1 action point. All right, and then the 4 damage against the fire head.
Yes.
As the... okay, as the sonic damage just like blows up across his neck. And the fire head specifically is actually looking pretty torn up at this point.
Good.
Okay. Okay, so they move once. How would you say... oh man, I don't know. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I feel like that's going to be a normal attack against you at this point.
What one? It's just going to bite me.
When they attack, yeah. I think that that was enough to negate their cover, unfortunately. But they did take the damage from the sonic collar, essentially, which is very awesome. And speaking of which, that is still kind of wrapped around his neck. It just like exploded with the sonic energy.
Nice. I was hoping that the metal would still be wrapped around his neck. That was mine.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is still the case. Okay, so 1 extra point to move. They already took some damage. The fire head is going, angry that you duped him. Is going to attack you first, and once spent, he's going to empower it once also to make sure that he hits you, hopefully, for his sake. Okay, looking at a dirty 20 with the first roll.
Definitely hits, and let's see, what was... so it's just a heavy hit, too.
Okay. Base damage is 3. The heavy would make it 4. And now, with the last action point, the acid head will take the reaction to attack again, now that the fire head gave him the opening. And again, with that reaction, there is a help die added automatically to the attack roll. So,
okay.
Ooh, only a 2 plus 6 plus the help die of 1. So only a 7 with the acid attack.
Does not hit.
Nice. Okay, that's all they can do. They did enough to skirt around the rock to actually target you, but that's it for their turn.
Nice. All right, I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt is a cantrip, just costs 1 AP, so I'm going to empower it. I want to add the chain effect. Choose an additional target within 2 spaces of the original, and it also takes 2 damage. The chain is unaffected by heavy or heavy hits.
Okay.
And technically cantrip passives, but the cantrip passive is anything wearing metal armor takes an extra damage.
Okay, yeah. I will count the chain. I see the setup here.
Nice. All right, let's see. 1 AP, empower it to chain, and then I'm also going to empower that to make sure it hits. And you know what? Screw it. We're just going to do an extra damage too. So just
there you go.
That's not even that. I just keep forgetting to roll for an overload.
Yeah.
God dang it. All right. Roll for overload. Check to see if it works.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Okay. Well, you definitely are good keeping up overload without exhaustion.
Okay, cool. Would you like to keep the old rolls that I did previously? Or
we haven't been. So we'll stick with not keeping the old ones. And it's way better for you anyway.
Way better for me. But it's currently 17 plus 9. So we've got 26.
Oh, man. Okay, that's really good. Yeah. Against physical defense, correct? Which is 15.
Yes.
So you heavied it. Nope, brutaled it, rather.
Okay, perfect. So it was base damage of 2. It has a chain, so it's going to do another base damage to the other head as well. It also has 1 extra damage for wearing armor, and 1 extra damage because I added it with the action point enhancements.
Okay.
So we got 4 damage on the red head and then 2 damage on the blue head.
Okay.
And don't feel like you have to, but is there any extra, maybe passives or vulnerabilities that could be given to me because he's standing in water and I'm attacking with lightning?
That was the whole reason that I put a water puddle in this. So what was the thing with the... armor. Did it add 1 damage for the armor?
Cantrip passive. Wow. Cantrip passive. Deal 1 damage against creatures wearing metal armor.
Okay, yeah. All right. So we're going to treat the water as like doubling down on that.
Okay.
So this will be interesting. This is going to feel really good. And then I'm just going to warn you that it's not going to feel good. Okay. So, all right. So because of the water situation, I will say that both heads actually do take 1 extra damage because they're both in the water.
Nice.
Also good news, that is exactly enough for the fire head. Like you notice that the chain that's around the fire head is powered up so much that it actually like severs off of the head. The fire head literally just like falls into the water and now only, just like wails around in pain for a while, and now only the acid head is left alive.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the good news. I'll leave it at that for now.
I'll share my own good news. I have 1 HP. Your turn.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Now what?
Right?
Was that all your resources?
No, straight up. I have 1 HP and it's your turn.
Okay. All right. All right. Sorry. This is the dirtiest part of it all. The Hydra is going to burn all 4 of its action points to regenerate the Firehead at full health.
Dang, that's crazy.
That's its turn.
Okay.
It did its dirty Hydra thing. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'm not sure what I would do with that, to be honest.
I know. It doesn't even feel good. I'm sorry.
If there was a like troop of people and this was like a way fight, that totally feel good.
Yes. Exactly. The whole bit is you have to get all the heads at once. That's how you defeat a Hydra. I'm sorry. And that's like you said, if this were a party of like 4 level 2 players, it would make a lot of sense. You'd be like, this is the BBEG. But instead, this is just wave 5 of the Gauntlet, and it just doesn't feel good.
No worries at all. No worries at all. So I'm going to, I think I'm just going to cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
It's going to be amplified +1, but I'm also going to use the Fiendish Magic ability. So it's going to have an extra missile.
Okay, let's get it. Let's do it.
And I'm going to give it, oh, no, never mind. Yep, just 1 extra missile.
Okay. Pardon the Discord bloop, folks. Forgot I was recording my desktop audio, so that's definitely going to be in there.
Okay, cool. So it's going to be 3 AP and 1 MP for a magical missile.
Let's get it.
At advantage, I got a natural 20 on that one.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Very cool. It's a whole lot.
It definitely is. And 29 for the overload, but I didn't roll for an overload.
Oh, just do it now. Just do it now, and we'll still use the natural 20.
I mean, everyone knows I am literally about to die, so we'll just see how well this can go.
Yeah, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt here.
Okay. And I even kind of failed the overload, too. So we have a point of exhaustion. And just going with the best possible scenario, I want to see how much damage I would have gotten. So that natural 20 is a 29 down to 28. My magic missile is going to be a base of 3 for a success, and then since I got 1, 2, 3 successes as well, this is going to be my most powerful magic missile with a little bit of cheekiness. We've got 6 true damage going straight at this guy.
Let's go. I'm wondering too, so it would be 6. Are you looking at like the full detailed description of magic missile? Does a natural 20 make 2 more missiles or something crazy like that?
I am looking at the full details description. It does not mention anything about a natural 20.
Man, I'd say the natural 20 would have to give you at least 1 more extra, if not 2.
Okay. I'll tell you what, 7 damage sounds better to me.
All right. Do you have a preference as to where it's going?
Not really. Honestly, I think the blue head kind of like made me a little bit angry, so we're just gonna get that one again.
Fair enough. That'd be enough to bring it down significantly. But yeah, there's that. Right now, being meta about it, both heads start at 15 HP. So you've collectively brought down the fire head down to 15, and then it unfortunately rejuvenated, and the acid head is at 5 currently.
Well, at least I can put out the damage.
Yeah, 100%. You're doing big damage, honestly.
Yeah. I have 1 AP left with the dodge action, and do it.
Okay. All right. Of course, angrily, this is just going to go the way you expect. You and the acid head are kind of like, competitively locking eyes at this point. So it's going to lead the charge here with its first attack, and it'll empower it too, I guess. I don't know.
Definitely.
Oh, golly. Okay. 19 plus 6. Too much. 25 for against physical.
Oh, just barely.
But the dodge action technically. So it would have been only the first roll. I don't know if it's going to make a difference, but so it would have been the first roll instead.
It technically wouldn't make a difference since it still hits, but still not bad.
Yeah. So it would have been a dirty 20 instead, which is a heavy. Base damage of 3 plus 1 for the heavy to bring in a base damage of 4, which would bring you to exactly -3, right?
Yep. And there he goes.
There it is. There is the very cheating 5th wave of the gauntlet. But I gotta tell you, okay, so rewind here. I gotta tell you, the way you pummeled through wave 4 against the Crystal Golem, holy moly, that was impressive.
Thank you.
That
had a little bit of help.
That thing, I thought for sure that one was gonna stump you. But again, I don't know your character going into this either. I kind of just like whip up, monsters, and it's just like, we'll see what happens.
The Sorcerer is pretty versatile, I have to say. And I'm almost kicking myself in the butt, right, for like making this character. I almost did take a Radiant and Umbral vulnerability, so that way I could have a healing spell from the Angelborn list, and I totally would have been able to use that so good. But it's a once per long rest spell, so I was like, nah.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, yeah, I guess moving forward when we do these, if either of us are making characters, I'm cool with the once per long rest resetting per wave too. I really like the idea of having everything the character has available for each wave just to see, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Especially when, wave 4 and 5 are like as difficult as they are. It's just not going to be realistic otherwise, if it's ever possible kind of thing. So, but it is what it is. That was a lot of fun. Created a lot of monsters that were like cool, they got fun, cool gimmicks. So that's fun.
Right. And we'll definitely have to figure out a way to offload some of these monsters too, because that was really fun, dude. I'm sure a couple of people will want to check these out.
Yeah, for sure. Man, if we end up with the time, we will make like stat blocks for all the monsters we make for the gauntlet and stuff too. But that's not a promise, okay? That's if we have time.
I get it. And honestly, if there was a easier format for the character sheets to like have it on the front and back, I would totally put up my character sheet too. But right now it's just a messy Google Doc.
Yeah, it is what it is, folks. Eventually we'll get this stuff kind of streamlined and, we'll do a little more with it. But that's what we got for now. But that was a lot of fun. I gotta say too, I was impressed with, I don't know if every sorcerer is going to be that powerful necessarily, but I was impressed. Like, there were many times that you're just dishing out crazy damage and making crazy high checks because of the overload thing. That's pretty awesome. Yeah,
seriously, that helps a lot. And I don't want to say it's like too strong, because I'm pretty sure most people are going to fail most of their overloads. I don't know why I succeeded on most of mine, but I could assume that it's probably going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah. And there's the whole thing of like exhaustion does not go away as easily as we are in this case. You know what I mean? So like the first time they fail, that one exhaustion's sticking with them for a while. So it's like, it would make a difference pretty quick on everything else, actually. Be a little more dangerous for sure.
But a very unique thing about my character, something I realized while I was like doing all of these spells.
Yeah.
I only have one spell that requires concentration, and that's Shield of Faith. All of the lightning spells do not require any amount of concentration. So I was just able to keep my shield up the entire time without being interrupted by myself, at least. So the only way that it could have been interrupted was you, or a monster or something,
Okay, you know what? And I guess funny enough, looking back at it, if something requires concentration, then like... Well, I guess it's okay, though. I was going to say anytime you take damage, we should be doing concentration checks, which I didn't think about at all until literally right now. But, I mean, the nice thing about Shield of Faith is, like, its concept is so that you don't get hit. So, as long as it's working, you won't actually have to make concentration checks against your physical defense stuff anyway. You know what I mean? So, it actually kind of makes sense. But I did not think about that at all. So, that'd be something that, we'd have to consider or whatever. But... Heck yeah. Yep. All in all,
I totally didn't realize either.
Yeah, I didn't think about it at all. All in all, that was a lot of fun. I like the character you made a lot.
It was definitely fun to play for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could get away with this kind of like sorcerer thematically with the fire, with the cold, all that type of stuff. Like he could totally have a complete spell list of just the cold or just the fire stuff and just be totally different. Because I almost went fire shield again.
Yeah. And one more thing too, with DC20 right now, the only thing to consider as far as like resistances against damage types and stuff is like whatever creatures or, you know, monsters you're making for your game, because a lot of it's like homebrew stuff right now anyway. So it's like the biggest difference between damage types is things that target mystical defense and physical defense. So it'd be pretty easy if you like a lot of the lightning spells. It'd be perfectly reasonable for me if I were the DM or whatever, the GM. It'd be perfectly reasonable if you wanted to just reflavor the damage types and you like the way that that spell works specifically, you know, with different damage types. That'd be fine. And again, the only caveat would be like if you're changing a physical defense thing to a mystical defense, because that's a little bit, you know, that'll hit more often kind of thing. But yeah, cool.
So you're saying lightning shield is possible?
That'd be sick, right? I mean, why not? Instead of fire shield? Heck yeah, that'd be so cool.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We do really appreciate you checking these out. If you have any more ideas for the Gauntlet, please leave them down below, or maybe what kind of class we should play next time.
Oh, yeah.
But until next time, everybody, we'll see you all later.
See ya.